Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watching, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about Justin Fields. Woo, baby. Let me tell you something. Justin Fields has an injury, and we're going to discuss it, okay? We're going to discuss it. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. Dislocated toe, and we're going to get into it, okay? Subscribe if you haven't already, and give the video a thumbs up. Now, news is broken. Justin Fields has dislocated a toe on his right foot, okay? Now, we don't know exactly what toe it is. That we don't know. But we do know, okay, that it's not his big toe, okay? We know that it's not his big toe because that's what's been reported. We also know that the toe that he dislocated is not fractured, all right? So they're saying, he's missed significant, injury talk, and, he won't miss significant time because he will be day to day, okay? Now, what that, kind of entails, how many days are going to be days he's going to be out there is one thing. But so I want to talk to you folks about how the day started when this first all broke, okay? The first reports was Justin Fields carted off the field. He has a lower leg injury. And a lot of people, a lot of reports were making this sound horrible at first. And immediately I thought to myself, when I heard the reports and I saw him, I said, wow, he's probably torn his ACL, his MCL, or torn his Achilles, and his season's going to be done. Because that was kind of the overall feeling at first, because that's how it was being reported. And immediately my mind went to all of the injuries that we've seen with Jets quarterbacks early in the season or before the season even started for some of them, right? The Jets have the worst luck, okay? All right, like, come on, man. Zach Wilson, anybody remember his meniscus injury? He missed a bunch of games. That happened in like a preseason game. Geno Smith got his jaw broken in preseason, I think, by a teammate. And he was looked at as being the guy that was going to be the Jets starting quarterback that year. Wow. I remember Mark Sanchez getting an injury as well, a shoulder injury. Chad Pennington broke his wrist and his hand in a preseason game. That one sent me to the moon. I couldn't believe it. That was really bad. Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles week one. We all saw that live. Y'all saw how that completely derailed that season and what we thought was, a season that not only the Jets would make the playoff, but push to possibly be in the Super Bowl and win it. And even going further back, Vinny Testaverde tore his Achilles one year. And it completely, threw their season into the, the dumpster, because that was a team that a lot of older Jets fans talk about all the time as being a team that for sure would have been in a Super Bowl and won it. A lot of Jets fans felt like that team was stacked. And with Testaverde going down, things just went left. So that's where my mind was initially when I heard these reports. But then the news broke, dislocated toe on his right foot. He's day to day, and that's that. So now, right, I'm looking at the situation like this. They're saying he's day to day. But how many of those days are going to be with him being on the field under center? How long are they going to kind of sit him on the sidelines to see how this heals up, right? Because even though it's not the big toe, it still, is going to affect him. And pain management is going to be huge for the New York Jets when it comes to dealing with him in that injury. But if he misses time on this field with his team, you got to think, like, this is a time when you're building that chemistry with the guys you're going to be playing with, right? You're building that synergy. You're getting in sync with everyone that's out there. That's important because the Jets offense, right, is brand new. It's a brand new offensive coordinator here with the New York Jets and Tanner Engelstrand. This is the first time he's ever been an offensive coordinator at an NFL level. So it's his show. And guys need to get up to speed to what he's bringing to the table. And if you're starting quarterback, the guy that's at the helm of everything, is missing time, it's going to be him missing time trying to build that synergy. And I know that we talk about this because we've had these issues before where we have, guys offensively that miss time in the offseason. And we think, oh, yeah, well, he'll just go into the season, everything will be okay. And we've seen often that that's not how it works. That guys have to work themselves into getting in sync with everything, getting in sync to the offense, period. So I'm wondering, man, what's going on with this practices are going to be looking like with him. I'm not worried about, the backup situation. We know we got, Tyrod Taylor. He's solid. But if Justin Fields, is our starter, which he is, they've already told us this, how much time is he going to miss and how much is that going to stop, building the synergy and getting in sync, building camaraderie with the guys and really, building everybody's understanding of the offense as well together. That could impact it. Also, something that I don't think a lot of people are discussing is the impact of the injury on his play. Yes, it's not his big toe, right? But that's still a dislocated toe in your foot. It's going to hurt his ability, right, to be mobile. It's going to hurt his shiftiness. That's one of the big things that everybody was talking about when we acquired Justin Fields. Even Joe Tippmann, who I think is phenomenal, okay? I think Joe Tippmann is going to have a big year for the New York Jets at center. Joe Tippmann was recently talking about this, how this is like one of the first times, right, during his time in the league where he's going to play with a guy that can move like Justin Fields. Yes, Justin Fields' arm is amazing. We know that. He's got a cannon, man. He can throw the ball all over the place. But his ability to impact the game moving his feet, it was going to be wild for the Jets. Like, it's crazy because it opens up a dimension of the Jets offense that we haven't had in I don't know how long. When you talk about him being able to run an RPO and having defenses terrified of what can happen, look, I look at our offense and some of the things that we will be able to do with Justin Fields, and I liken it to what the Ravens are doing. I am not saying that Justin Fields is Lamar Jackson. That's not what I'm saying. Lamar Jackson, that guy, Justin Fields is still working to prove himself and get things rolling. But let me tell you something. When you got a quarterback that can move and you have a running back like Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, guys that can run the rock as well, when you look at what the Ravens were able to do to the Steelers, they made the Steelers look ridiculous in the playoffs. They couldn't stop anything, right? The Steelers immediately said to themselves defensively, we are going to key in on Derrick Henry. He's not going to take over this game. We can't let him run. So the Ravens adjusted their offensive play calling and said, okay, if that's what you want to do, cool. They started having Lamar pull that football back, keep it on the RPO and take off, and he was eating the Steelers up, completely destroying them on the ground. He was taking off for 10, 20-yard runs constantly. Then they said, okay, we can't let this keep happening either. Let's key in on Lamar Jackson and really, corral to the football with Derrick Henry. We'll try that. That ain't work either, dog. That ain't work either. Derrick Henry got that ball. He was running people over. He was running through safeties and taking off down the field, and guys were gassed because the RPO made guys think. You start to have to think, oh, who's got the ball? And once you start thinking as a defender, you're on another planet. It's over for you. Because once you start thinking, you slow down. And when you slow down, the fast guy wins. Okay? So you got to wonder, when you look at Justin Fields, because this is an injury that I think is going to linger for some weeks going into the season. He might deal with it the whole entire season, right? Depending on, how it's going to heal. So you got to wonder, if he's out there, how close to 100% is he playing at? Because that toe, even though it's not the big toe, still going to swell up. You're still going to have pain. You're still going to have those things. So you got to look at it like, our defenders really going to be sold if we start running RPOs? Those defenders are going to say, you've got a dislocated toe. Like, bruh, you're not going anywhere like that. You might move, but you ain't going nowhere. I'll worry about Breece Hall and Braylon, and if we see you with the ball, then we'll get to you. So you got to wonder, how close to 100% is he going to be playing? Because that could really impact the Jets' offensive play calling and the Jets' running game as well. So I'm looking at these things. These are just some of the things that I am thinking. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about this situation, man? with Justin Fields and his dislocated toe. If you were the Jets coaching staff, how would you handle this dislocated toe? Would you sit him on the sidelines for some weeks, let it heal up, or how would you handle it? Let me know. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.